Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. So now that we've got the Georgia indictment and all the reports to review, everybody's talking about it. And I get it. The way it reads, it's intense. And even a lot of the mainstream media heads are hyping it up, suggesting it's a huge deal. Even Steve Ducey over at Fox seems to be leaning into that story. But let's talk about it and let's see what's really up. I want to show you this. But before we do, guys, thanks to everyone that's been subscribing and leaving such great comments. We really appreciate the support. And if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. Every time you do, a leftist loses their wings.
Now, I've heard from a lot of legal analysts, and they say what is different about this case than the federal cases is Georgia has laws that are specifically tailored to election interference and things like that. Andy McCarthy, a Fox News contributor, and also he wrote an op-ed in the New York Post. He said that the Georgia indictment is the most perilous threat to former President Trump. Does President Trump know that this is a perilous threat?
We do not agree that it is a perilous threat because we actually have inside information. So I love when people...
What inside information?
Well, the inside information, Steve.
So guys, is it just me, or does the recent indictment around Donald Trump feel more muddling than clarifying? I mean, I've combed all through this stuff, and honestly, most of this stuff seems shaky legal ground at best. And, it feels like we're moving in a completely new territory. And it's wild to think about the fact that district attorneys in the U.S. are now trying to imprison a former U.S. president, who, by the way, is the leading candidate for the GOP right now. Basically, because he voiced opinions on Twitter and he took actions that seem, if you're being honest, if you're looking at everything they wrote, everything seems in line with the Constitution. So let's unpack just a little bit what's in this indictment. So one, Count 22. Trump tweeted about a news segment he found amazing, but somehow that's now being labeled as part of a plot to overturn an election. I got to ask, let me know in the comments, since when did sharing an opinion about anything, let alone something you saw in the news, become a high crime? Two, there's mention of someone booking a room for a Trump-related meeting. But how is that suspicious? And how is that anything other than organize a meeting? Three, someone wanted the phone number to a Pennsylvania official to discuss something. Again, that is not a crime. That's a completely reasonable thing to ask if you want to talk to someone. And then there's this thing about, Trump expressing a viewpoint on the vice president's powers, or trying to speed up, the signature verification process, or even his call to Mike Pence. Sure, he might have been a tad aggressive in his approach. He's a pretty aggressive guy. But since when is stating an opinion or asking a question, especially a question about procedure, seen as criminal? The entire case, it feels a bit like trying to criminalize political strategy and criminalize political opinion. And if we're using this as our new standard, then I can think of quite a few politicians on both sides of the aisle who might find themselves in literal hot water. They better stay the heck out of Georgia. But I mean, I get it. The rule of law is paramount. It is super important. Without that, we've got nothing. No one is arguing that. But shouldn't the law be applied in a balanced and fair way? It feels like a strategic move, not a, matter of law. This is not an application of justice. This is strategy. And if they do somehow win this case, which I can't imagine happening, I very much doubt it'll even make it to trial or make it past even a month from now. But given the heavy Democratic leanings in that area that they're pursuing, what's the end game? It seems like it would only lead to more division and more chaos. That's probably what they want. That's what they wanted on January 6th, allegedly. It's hard to shake the feeling that this is more about politics and less about justice. Charging a former president for expressing beliefs or organizing meetings, that's some dangerous stuff, man. That's some crazy waters to be wading into. If this is the way we're headed, it feels like upholding democracy and more like, edging towards a slippery slope. But anyway, guys, those are just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. We'll see you in the next one.